These miners were making $25, $100 per day in passive income mining cryptocurrency. Not some obscure coin either, by the way. A coin worth nearly $1 billion. Okay, this is a Kaspa mining update. We're looking at the IceRiver KS0 and KS1. These miners are small, especially the KS0. They are quiet, especially the KS0, but the KS1 is really quiet as well. Super low power consumption, right? You know, these things are using less energy than many appliances in your house. And I'm not talking about your dryer, I'm talking about your laptop, you know, realistic comparable electronics, if you will. These are the most anticipated mining rigs of the year. Whether you follow cryptocurrency mining closely or you don't, if you want to earn more money, you should at a minimum evaluate these. People are trying to make a couple percent in their savings account. They're trying to buy coins and hope they go up. But have you thought about buying some robotic employees and earning some passive income? Yo, I'm Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I'm a full-time crypto maniac. Whether I'm having some fun making YouTube videos or working on building my mining farm, which would be a full-time endeavor to most, but for some reason I seem to always like taking 2 full-time jobs. Anyway, here's everything you need to know about Kaspa mining, these miners in particular, the rest of the IceRiver ASIC miners, and the competitor miner to these from Bitmain. These are easy to use. If you want to get into this, I assure you, you can. But hopefully by the end of this video, you'll understand whether you want to or not, because there's always pros and cons. If you follow cryptocurrency mining, Kaspa mining is all the rage. It's just what everyone's looking at. We're all fixated on it because these Kaspa miners are some of the most profitable mining rigs that we've seen in a very long time. Originally projected to earn literally thousands of dollars per day. That's nuts. But before we unpack all of that and run through the real world mining profitability, which is something I'm proud of, it's a staple of VoskCoin video content, I bring you the facts, the data, and you do with it whatever you want to do. Let me tell you a short story. Take a seat. Okay, so this Starknet. And if you're an incredible, super cool subscriber of the VoskCoin YouTube channel, then you may have seen some of our Starknet videos, maybe our airdrop hunting guide, stuff like that. If you haven't, hey, check them out. Here's the don't miss out. The mint starts now for only 24 hours, right? And that wasn't all that long ago. Here's the end of the short story. What a great background. It's raining, it's sad. Dear community. Our blockchain couldn't handle this. We're sorry. Goodbye. And moving on, Kaspa, top 50 cryptocurrency, basically has been previously number 52. Okay, a market cap of $722 million, $18 million in 24-hour trading volume. This cryptocurrency is up 1,276% in last year. It's one of the best returns in the whole crypto market. If you bought this a little bit more than a year ago at its all-time low, you'd be up a cool 20,000%. So don't ever act like the opportunities are gone and all that. I will say though, as a US citizen, you will have not the best time trading Kaspa. Some people think that this means that there are some serious freaking all-time highs on the way when they get on some major cryptocurrency exchanges. Possible. Or that could mean that there's major dumps impending. Really depends where this goes and the tech goes. I'll talk about that a bit here in a second. So there's a couple of things you can do, most notably as a US citizen. There's KuCoin, okay? KuCoin, you do have to KYC now though. There's no getting around that. You got to KYC to go there. If you want a non-KYC exchange, there's TradeOgre. TradeOgre is going to be for smaller Kaspa miners. You're not going to be able to do high volume and things like that. I mean, you look at their 24-hour volume, it's less than $100,000. If you go over to KuCoin, they're doing over $3 million per day. There are other exchange options as well. You can check them out and do whatever the hell you want to do. As always, Kaspa, right? It's supposed to be a open source, fast, decentralized, scalable layer 1. It's a platform blockchain. The notable thing here is basically it's just supposed to be really fast. Really fast is supposed to translate to scalability and a lot of transactions per second. We look at the amount of new coins mined per day. Market cap versus emission, they are one of the most lucrative coins to be mining. And keep in mind that this is measured in dollars against how many coins are being minted. And they're down 11% in the last week. All right. So Bitcoin, 24 million. Dogecoin, about $1 million. Kaspa, $567,000 in the last 24 hours. And this is typical. Okay. Next is number 4, Chia XCH. That's a big reason why I just ordered another Evergreen miner. That's another reason why I've been building out the hard drive mining shed. And that's another reason why I think if you want to get into some pretty cool mining that's low energy, that's an incredible route to go, right? Shameless plug, affiliate link, coupon code below, all that stuff, true. But I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I didn't have to order the miner you just saw me order, but I'm here, I'm about it, and this is exciting. And if you don't even want anything to do with Chia XCH, Bitcoin payouts for these miners are coming soon. So it's actually going to be an incredibly low energy consuming Bitcoin miner if you want to go about it that way. It auto dumps XCH for BTC basically. But to bring it back to Kaspa and the focus of this video, this is one of the things that makes the KS0 so interesting. So this is why IceRiver is so much cooler than Bitmain, okay? Because IceRiver came to market with a KS0. It looks like this. It's small, right? It's a little mini computer that was earning over 20 bucks a day. Crazy, yes? Absolutely. How much is it earning now though? This is a device that is not very expensive. The going rate for these right now are about $800. This also includes the power supply that you need to run this. So why am I showing Crypto Miner Bros? 1, when you go to IceRiver's official website, they're sold out so you can't buy them there. 2, people have had better returns because they've gotten their miners quicker from Crypto Miner Bros compared to oftentimes IceRiver's official web store and some other resellers. I'm not throwing shade at anyone in particular. That's not the point. My point is that this has proven to be a successful option for IceRiver miners. Most notably, I got my KS1 from them pretty quickly, and when this thing was, shipped, it was making $100 a day. A little bit less when it hit my destination, but I'll talk more about that here in a second. Bringing it back to the KS0, because I think this one is the most interesting, it's the most applicable, it's the most versatile, and it's the most decentralized. This is hands down the coolest Kaspa ASIC miner, even though ironically it runs very hot. So you look at my data, I'm mining 100 coins a day. And for the first time, this has kind of become stable. We go back a week, right? It was up towards 120. And then 2 weeks ago, it was up around 160. And I switched it to a different account here on F2 Pool because at that time I had synced up my KS1 onto my primary mining account so I could split up the data and get easy data, for this video for you guys. So what does that translate to? Like, what's 100 coins a day? So 100 coins right now is $3.44. A lot of people are hopeful. A lot of people think that there's a bright future for Kaspa. A lot of people think that this is just the beginning. We'll see. It's a bear market though. There's definitely an upside here. How much? Hard to say. Maybe another 10x in the peak of a bull run. I don't know though. And obviously we can definitely go down. This thing uses like 100 watts. All right, it's more akin to like your laptop, your Nintendo Switch or something. Costs less than 10 bucks a month to run. So let's just say we're making like 330, right? And we take 330 in these coins per day, and we go out to 365. You are less than a 1 year ROI break even. True, and people who got these early enough have already broken even. My miner has earned a lot of coin since I got it a couple months ago. Here's what you need to understand though, is that all of these new ASIC miners are coming onto the Kaspa network. These are new, they're highly powerful, they blow away all the GPU miners and FPGA miners of before on Kaspa, right? So they were just sitting at like 1 petahash, all these things came in, and they've more than 16x'd the network, which means that it's 16 times more difficult to mine one coin, essentially. A lot of people don't understand the emission rate. So Kaspa has a very smooth emission decrease, and it just, I'm not trying to sound like mean when I say this. It just astonishes me, like the lack of research that some people do before they drop thousands and thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. Because I haven't even talked about the biggest rigs you could buy for this thing yet, which they have jaw-dropping costs. So every month, the amount of coins that are mined per block, which turns into basically the amount of coins mined every day on KAS, goes down every month. So just a couple months ago, right, it was 220 KAS a month in May. Like, that's a stark increase from what we're currently mining at 184 coins, 185 coins per block. In September, this goes down to 175, basically, coins per block. So that's like a 6%, 7% reduction or something. That's pretty substantial. And this will continue happening month over month over month over month. So if nothing else changed, which is never the case, we would be making much less money per month in a year. If we look at the reduction in September of 2024 versus September of 2023, it's basically a halving. The amount of coins we'll have in 1 year from next month. So that's substantial, and it's more linear. It's not a big, huge network event like Bitcoin, which halves the amount of coins mined in every block, which means the amount of money mined per day in Bitcoin is cut in half at the halving, right? Obviously simple stuff, every 4 years. But this is just really important, and we needed to run through it. So let's bring it back to the IceRiver KS1. So I got this from Crypto Miner Bros, and these are all of the IceRiver miners that you can buy right now. The KS0 all the way up to the new KS3M. I shouldn't say all the way up. That's the newest one. There's also still the KS3. When you go to IceRiver, some of their miners are out of stock. They're talking about not producing certain models anymore ever again, things like that. Some of them are in stock. And order from wherever you want, if you will. The KS3M is their most recent release. It's just an in-between. So the KS3M is 6 terahash a second at 3,400 watts, right? It's a worse version of the KS3, to put it simply, but they bring in the price point lower. But let's kind of talk about the KS1 and really hone in on that, as I have that unit. So they're sold out there. I think this is the most interesting and most applicable miner that they've released, because I think this is at a price point that some people can get into. I know $6,000 is a lot of money. I'm not trying to downplay that to any degree. What this essentially is just 10 of these in one box with slightly better efficiency. Because if you times this by 10, you would be consuming 650 watts. This has a power consumption of 600. The KS1 scales a little bit better, as it's 600 watt power consumption, right? You're shoving 10 in a box, you just get a little bit of an efficiency boost there. So here is my KS1. Performance has been good. Average hash rate per day on F2 pool, which I found that my performance is not really lining up with what I'm supposed to be getting. Some people are saying that they're earning more Kaspa mining on other KAS mining pools. Do with that whatever you want. So regardless, we have this data from here for now. So we can look, I'm pretty much mining 1,000 coins per day. And that's pretty much right in line with 10x KS0s, which equates to 34 bucks a day. This consumes around 600 watts, and at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, all over the screen, make sure I don't get this math wrong, that is how much this thing costs to run per day, and then per week, and then per month. So it's not very much. I mean, 600 is not much at all. This also means it's not producing a lot of heat. It's pretty quiet, and it's just basically a good time. This is very possible for at-home mining, right? Put it in your spare bedroom, put it in your basement, put it in your garage, put it in your shed, whatever. This is very realistic, I think, from a price point to the noise to the power consumption, everything for at-home miners. Also, even though these are expensive, a lot of people forget about density. You can get into numerous miners, and you may be limited by rack space, by electricity. And having miners that are more expensive but that, are more profitable and maybe consume less electricity, with this equation is very interesting for smaller scale miners. I'm not trying to justify the insane prices on these rigs, but at the end of the day, if they make a lot of money, they're going to charge a lot of money for them, and people will pay them, which has been shown time and time again. People balked at these KS3 prices from IceRiver as well as Bitmain. Guess what? People bought them. They bought a lot of them. All right, and so let's talk about the Bitmain Antminer KS3. So you can go and order one right now, a la carte, $42,000. Wow. They're talking about how they've been shipping their second batch, which isn't even entirely true. I believe it's basically just part of their first batch. The guys were talking about in VoskCoin Discord server too. So anyway, all that stuff's ridiculous with the way they do this. It's just like, it's very convoluted. But the bottom line is that these are some behemoths being shipped out. I'm sure after a nice, enjoyable break-in period at Bitmain factory, so these will absolutely have an impact on this network hash rate. I think we're likely to see this go to 20 petahash pretty soon with these KS3s, the KS3Ms, and just, other miners that are sitting in a warehouse waiting for a home on the Kaspa network. So, really, right? Like to take a step back, to look at the situation. Kaspa mining is very intriguing. A lot of people are hyped about the coin. A lot of people are hyped about these miners. The network is exploding. These are the first iteration of ASIC miners. These are application-specific integrated circuit miners. They're very easy to use. They're very easy to set up. You plug in power. You plug in Ethernet. You log into your remote dashboard, as we showed in our previous videos with the KS0 as well as the KS1. You pretty much put your wallet address in and start getting frickin' paid. It's very cool. It's very impressive and just intoxicating the way you can basically buy a robotic employee and earn some serious passive income. But these ASIC miners, these purpose-built custom computers, that all they do is mine this one cryptocurrency mining algorithm. In this case, right, Kaspa's. This is the first release. This is the first iteration. And historically, first batch miners have done very well. Also, historically, first batch miners, where you have a new ASIC mining landscape like this, are invalidated. They're replaced with a miner that's 50%, 100% better in 1 to 2 years. There's so many variables. The landscape continues to change and evolve and grow. This is coming out of GPU mining. This is coming out of FPGA mining. We've entered the ASIC stage. This is basically end of life mining cycle. Nothing is more efficient than an ASIC miner. Okay, you think of like GPUs as they're a Jeep. They can do a lot of things. You can mount a gun on the back, right? You can bring supplies with it. You can off-road. It's a little fast. You can weave in between trees, whatever. An ASIC miner is a f***ing tank. All right, it will blow the Jeep up 100 out of 100 times. The gun on the Jeep probably won't even dent the tank's armor. The Jeep will be squished by the tank. The tank doesn't need to go around the trees. It'll run them over, right? But the Jeep's versatile. It does a lot of things. You can park it in the garage. You can't do that with the tank. The point here being is that the ASIC miner is so specialized that, now it's an arms race of ASIC mining. So I just want to really leave you with that word of caution. I haven't seen everything in the world or crypto or mining ever, but I've been doing this for about 7 years, and I've seen a lot in the last 7 years. I think this is interesting. I think, for me, I want a few of these miners, right? I'll grab a few of these miners. It's not something that I'm personally building out a huge mining farm of. It's very risky. Bitmain miners historically have done much better than some competitors. I think Goldshell and their gross Cadena ASIC miners were a massive flop that went to similar price points and had similar projected mining returns like this. But Cadena's price and market cap fell flat on its face, and Goldshell laughed all the way to the bank, unfortunately, like at all of our expenses. So while I think this is less risky than some smaller ASIC manufacturers, I don't think this is risk-free by any means. On that note, I'm gonna close this out with our CRO, our Chief Risk Officer here at the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Tails, incredibly cute, incredibly smart, incredibly cautious. She's very likely to just kind of take her paw and like slowly grab a ball to get it back from, you know, a scary area or something weird or risky or something unfamiliar. If she sees a hole or a puddle, she never walks into it. She walks around it. It's that Shiba intellect. They're very risk adverse. And well, that's probably why their species made it. It's pretty funny. They're pretty cat-like. My name is Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know down in the comments below what information you want us to break down next.